C'est bonjour. C'est bonjour. Bonjour. Ça va? Minkies. Let's go. Should we show them your new toy? 13 whole euros that toy cost me, and thankfully she's not chewed it to absolute pieces. She gets really giddy with the squeak and the air that comes out of it though, and she normally like bounces around the bed. It's so cute. Yeah, we loved it. There is no Paris vlog because my phone, like my second phone that I use for pictures, videos, vlogging, etc., was stolen out of my bag on Metro Line 4. So I had my Chanel bag over my shoulder, then I had my massive gym bag looped over my arm, and I jumped off the train from the airport to Gare du Nord and then was like walking towards Metro Line 4. There was like a 3-minute wait for the metro to arrive, so I just walked straight up to one of the doors and I was like, oh really, like my arm was knackered. In the time it took me to bend over, sit my gym bag down and stand back up, I then like re-looped like my bag, like hadn't fell off, but it was like a safety thing. I was just checking and the bag was open and I was like, why is my bag open right now? And oh, thank you. And then, yep, looked in and yep, phone was gone. Thankfully, this phone that I'm not, thank you so much. I'm just telling them about Paris. I know you missed me so much, didn't you? Yeah, thankfully it wasn't my personal phone. I'm not too upset. I'm not too bothered because if it was my personal phone, oh my God, I'd have cried and it really genuinely would have ruined my holiday. But there was nothing personal on it. There was no pictures or anything. There was like 3 mini videos on there because I'd started vlogging the trip of like when I was in the car heading to work and when I got to the airport, etc. So I'd started vlogging it. But like there's nothing else. Don't, you're taking over the entire camera. I understand. It's not like we've just been playing Tig downstairs for about 20 minutes. Sit down, Biddy. Ready? Go get. Not fussed. Oh, you kid. New hat as well. Got this in my Martra. Oh, thank you. So yes, not overly fussed, but it obviously wasn't great. The whole start to the trip, to be fair, wasn't great. So 2 buttons had fell off because they were just stitched on so poorly. Note to Zara, stitch your buttons on better. But 2 buttons popped off my top as I was getting dressed in the morning. So that really stressed me out. But I was like, right, there's an emergency sewing kit in my car. I'll sort it out when I park up at work before the taxi arrives. Like, it will all be okay. So I did. I'd done that. And then when I got through security, because you have to take like your coat off and everything for security, I looped it over my arm and I was like, why have I not got this sensation already? Something should have already been looped over my arm. My dress. My Emmy dress that I was going to wear in the evening for my dinner cruise on the Seine. I left it hanging behind the door because I got distracted saying goodbye to a certain little dachshund. Yes. And I completely forgot my dress. So then I was like really ready on the verge of tears because this whole thing, lie down, good girl, has been planned around me wearing this dress, getting fabulous pictures in it, and oh my God. So I rang my mum at 5 a.m. to see if she could just, swing by the airport. I'd meet her at one end of security, she'd meet at the other, like, because at least then she wouldn't have to physically go through security. And she said no, which is fair, because she's normally sort of out the house at like 7. So she was like, no, because it means literally getting up and physically getting ready for work now. And she didn't have the fuel. And I was like, I'll give you money for fuel. I'll pay for everything. It was not happening. So then, because I was so upset and so panicked, I started thinking, right, I'll get a taxi to go and pick up the dress, get them through, spoke to security, and they were like, you'll have to go to gate 20, physically leave the airport, come right back round. Once you've got it, then you'd have to come through security again. Now, I got through security in about 5 minutes. And when I was speaking to the woman at security, the line was getting so big. And I just was like, I just don't think I'm actually going to make it. There was a 20-minute wait for the taxi anyway, to get to my house. And then I thought half an hour here for you to drive, like it wouldn't have timed out because the gate was closing at, I think gate closed at like 6 a.m. So I thought, I'm never going to make it. Right, my darling, I love you so much, but I'm trying to vlog and update them why they've not had a Paris vlog. And you're just there. I understand. But we've just been playing tick downstairs. We cuddled on the sofa. We've been cuddling all morning. Had a nice extra lie-in. Now what you want? You're not getting a treat. She's looking down at a treat box. If I give you a treat, will you back up from the vlog? Honestly. Just a little one. Oh, you're not. Okay. Hopefully that stops that. So yeah, and then everyone was boarded like well within time on the plane, and yet for some reason we missed our time for the runway, so we had to sit next to the runway for 50 minutes. So that was making me really sad and like really annoyed, because I get the first flight out for a whole reason, so you get more time during the day. But it was also going to time out by the time I got to Paris, I would have had time to have dropped bags off to the hotel to make it to the airport. For the sole reason I've booked the trip on these dates was to make an 11/11 wish under the Eiffel Tower on the 11th of the 11th. Did I get to do that? No. Didn't, did I? No, did not. Yeah, I know, didn't. So that really annoyed me. I was also running on 1.5 hours sleep. I don't know whether it was excitement. I don't know whether it was slight anxiety, because I was going to be putting that padlock and sort of learning to let go of the relationship with my ex-fiance. So I don't know, but I had an 1.5 hour sleep at literally about 2 a.m. I think I finally got to sleep, and I was up at 3:30. So no sleep, buttons popped off, forgot the dress, 50-minute runway, phone got stolen, and then we make it to the hotel thinking, right, here we go. Early check-in was available for free. Perfect. Thought I really just need a minute to gather myself, gather my thoughts, feelings, everything. Otherwise, like, I'm ruining my own holiday for myself. And Paris is like my dream place. I just love it. And I thought, I'm ruining my own holiday now because of this whole thing. So I was really thankful to just get in the hotel, unpack, have a strong word with myself in the mirror of like, what the fuck are you playing at? Like, sort yourself out. You're not going to let this ruin your holiday. A few bad things have happened. None of it is the end of the world. You fixed your top. We'll find a new outfit for tonight. Like, I was just talking through everything. So then I got myself prepped, changed into like my day outfit, got my heels on, felt so much better, felt so chic. Found the cutest little bakery at the end of the road, got a pain au chocolat and a chocolate eclair. I dropped the pain au chocolat on the floor of the metro, and it felt lighter than air, and I just knew it was honestly going to be the nicest pain au chocolat that I've honestly ever had in my life. So that just made me really sad, like deeply sad. And I was like, I think that, I don't know whether it's just because it was like the cherry on top, but that just felt like the worst thing out of everything that could have happened. And that's including like a £1,300 phone being stolen right out my bag in a split second without me noticing or feeling anything. Wild. The chocolate eclair was delicious, however. So then I went to the Opera House, and I was just back in my Paris bubble of just being so happy, so grateful, so just everything. And it just was amazing, and it just put everything back into perspective for me, and it just made me so happy. You're sleepy. You haven't got to sleep. She's looking at me like, who's asleep? I'm not sleeping. You were sleepy. Oh my gosh, the Opera House was insane. Just insane. I honestly took about 300 pictures and videos and still don't feel like I took enough pictures and videos of that opera house. It was just absolutely unreal. I met the nicest lady, Estee, I think she was called, if I remember. She was from Chile. She was solo traveling, or just on a holiday, whether we class that as traveling, I don't know. But it was so funny. So I had the cute white Zara top on with the black skirt, with the tights, with the heels. She basically had that but grey vibes with burgundy tights, and I was like, oh my god, we're like matchy, this is so cute. And she approached me saying, would I mind taking some pictures and videos of her, and in return, if I wanted anything, like, she'd take them off me. And I was like, oh, that would actually be amazing, because I'm really struggling putting like my tripod up, and if I'm walking away, I'm like, the trust issues of like leaving it there, especially because obviously I just had the phone stolen a couple of hours before. And oh my gosh, the content we got for each other, it's a dream. I am so lucky that she found me, and I hope she feels the same, because we were both just so incredibly happy with the content we were getting for each other. All of these pictures and videos are going to be across my Instagram and TikTok, so please just go to my social media and follow along there, because you're going to see everything on there. Because it was draining my battery just taking pictures and videos, let alone then having to do videos for a vlog. So I just thought, let's just prioritize pictures, videos, experience in the moment, and I knew I'd do some form of an update here for the vlog. Peppermint tea. So yeah, so just follow me on social media to see like all the good stuff. And then I remembered, obviously my manufacturer is now in Paris for Emmy, and I dropped her. I'm so grateful that I'd done this as well, by the way. I swear something inside me, an intuition said, this phone is going to get stolen today. If anything, leave that one in your handbag and keep your personal phone in your hand at all times. And when I was at the airport, I tried messaging my manufacturer on the business phone, and because her English isn't the best, I used the translate on WhatsApp, and it wasn't downloading for French, because normally I've got the iPad and I normally just WhatsApp her off the iPad. And it wasn't downloading. I was like, oh, do you know what? Let's just save her number to my personal phone. I'll just message her off this one, and then she's got my personal number too, blah, blah, blah. How grateful am I that that happened? So I messaged her and said, I'm actually currently at the airport. I'm on my way to Paris for an overnight stay. Completely forgot my dress for this evening. Do you still have the first ever sample that we made earlier this year? And she replied saying that they were closed. So because I'm really bad with the war, I'm not great with history, I also don't know the French wording for it, but basically 11th was like the end of World War One, I think. But something in and around it to do with French, and they basically celebrate it, so a lot of businesses close. So she'd said that they were closed because they were celebrating that. However, she would come and meet me. She would open the office to give me the dress. Now, the first sample dress, because it has like a cutout here, it didn't have a mesh panel. So when you put it on, the fabric spread and your little boobies were on show. And we kind of rushed through that sample because I needed to test it. Oh, that was it. I was going to London at the end of February, and I was ideally wanting to wear it for then. So we'd rushed through the sample. So I'll show you what. The seams of it weren't perfect. I'll show you what I mean. So because it's obviously reversible, we're trying our best to like have no seams on show. You can't see the other colours underneath the other one, blah, blah, blah. However, at the hem, that it's so obvious that the white fabric hangs below. Whereas on the final sample, I'm trying to like do it here. It's this tiny little bit is the ribbon that the pearls are attached to, but it's much less obvious. So I knew it wasn't a perfect dress. But I thought, nevertheless, at least I can wear my own design. So then I'd said, did she have any of like the mesh paneling fabric in? And I could just like really badly hand sew it on the opposite side. And she said no, because it's just their office. Their actual like manufacturing site is elsewhere. So I was like, not a problem. I'll go and find like a little sewing kit and fabric, etc. myself. It was the most incredible experience meeting her. Her English was way better than what she's ever made out, or even that her husband ever made out, because he was the one that I originally spoke to when I found the manufacturer. And we were both like fully understanding each other. She was attempting English, I was attempting French. She was trying to find words in English for things that she couldn't translate, so I was trying to figure it out. So then I just got Google Translate up on the app, so we were doing that every now and then just to confirm a few things. But considering my French isn't that great, it's very basic, her English is very basic, we managed to like have a full 30-minute conversation together, and she's so amazing. The office is just so nice. It's down cute little like cobbled street off a main street in Paris. It's like 5 minutes on the metro away from Galeries Lafayette, so it's in just such a prime, beautiful location. Oh, I just couldn't have been happier, and it was just so nice to meet her. And like even my mum said, like, do you not think that maybe all of this was supposed to happen just so you could even meet your manufacturer, like, kind of thing? And I was like, no, I know, that's why I'm like not letting this holiday ruin things, just seeing the beauty in everything. And oh my gosh, I then spent the next 2 hours running around Paris trying to find mesh panel fabric, and the closest thing I got was this like organza like chiffon, and it looked really pearlescent, and I was like, that's not going to work. But when she held it up against her skin, it did pretty much go see-through. I was like, oh, that actually is going to work. So yeah, oh my god, it was like €19 for a meter. She couldn't do any smaller. Then I was like running around trying to find a needle and thread. It took like, I was in like a supermarché and pharmacy, big underground store, and finally found a little sewing kit. It took ages. So then, yeah, went back to the hotel, really, really badly hand sewn this panel in, but it worked. The dress fit. It looked amazing. Hair, makeup, not even gonna lie, I was on fucking fire. I don't know what Paris does to me, but my makeup and hair always just goes to like perfection when I do it. It's unreal. I don't know why, but I love it. Another reason why I adore Paris. And then I got the most amazing pictures by the Eiffel Tower. There was so many guys taking professional pictures on their cameras. They had like these gigantic LED lights that just shone like the whole road up. It was unreal. And I just was like, oh, do you know what? Actually, for Emmy, I actually might pay and get some of the pictures done, because I know that it will look really good for the dress, even though it's not the final dress. It's a good like stepping stone. So I managed to get 26 pictures for €20. So good at negotiating. I've only kept 17 of them because some angles just weren't working. The facial expressions just weren't happening on some of them. But either way, oh my god, they look amazing, and I'm so happy that I paid to get them done. And then the dinner cruise on the Seine was incredible, like incredible. I just felt just so calm and so lucky and so happy to be sat there experiencing that. I had champagne on tap. I had the nicest 3-course dinner. It was the best risotto I've ever had in my entire life. it was just heavenly. It was amazing. And just before we pulled up, the Eiffel Tower sparkled, and the waiter was like, "Here, I'll take you upstairs." And I was like, "What?" Not even realizing there was a top deck, and he brought me up there, and he was like, "Here, I'll take a video and everything." I'd started the video for him, and he didn't realize, so he'd paused it and then started again. So we missed a good like 2 minutes of me posing, but it's fine. Oh, it's just magical, absolutely magical. And then the next day, again, aimed for an 11:11 wish at the Eiffel Tower, and I missed it by 2 minutes because there was a delay on the metro, but it's fine. I'm clearly still not over it. But I went round Montmartre a little bit, headed to the Eiffel Tower. The whole plan was to put this lock on the gate thingy where he proposed, and it's all been guarded off because they're still doing guarding work after the Olympics. So I was like, now what do I do? So then I just explored around there, took some pictures, videos, TikToks, etc. And then I went towards the Champs-Elysees, went for a little coffee, went to the dog shop to get Dory the little Eiffel Tower, and then I went to the Arc de Triomphe and went up there, and oh my god, the spiral staircase, holy shit. I was in 3.5-inch heeled boots all day. I'd done 10 hours straight in these boots, and I must have had 3 hot flashes on the way up. I was so out of breath. I was so warm. I thought my face is going to be physically melting, which let me just recommend the best setting spray. I'm so glad I picked this. I know e.l.f. products are really good, but e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set. Mwah, chef's kiss. I would pay $1 million for that, and it's about £5. My makeup did not budge from the first thing in the morning of doing my makeup till, so this Tuesday, I done my makeup at 9 a.m. and I got home and I chilled out and it hit 1 a.m. and I was like, oh my god, I've still not took my makeup off. Still flawless. Still absolutely flawless. Like nothing had budged. And that's considering all the travel, all the walking, the up and down the stairs, the hot flashes, like unreal. So grateful to the e.l.f. Mist and Set Spray. I also am now getting a slight cold, so my left nose keeps blocking. And that is because of the cold, high winds at the top of the Arc de Triomphe. And there's just no regrets. I don't even care. The view was fantastic. It was, honest to God, spectacular. It was just amazing. I just sat up there for a bit, just taking it all in, to then realise I still had like 4 hours spare because I'd done everything that was on my agenda for that day. So I was like, this is a bit wild now. I don't know where to go, what to do. Like, oh my God. So then I thought, head near the Louvre and I'll go on the bridge that Carrie Bradshaw went on. It used to be the Lock and Key Bridge, if I'm remembering all of this rightly, but then they took off all the locks because of the weight of it and they replaced it with like glass panels. What do you call it? I don't know. It's basically like a glass bridge now, but I know that there's still little sections with keys on, so I thought I'll head there because love Carrie Bradshaw, love Sex in the City. That's where Big found her in Paris in the series. It's where she went to release his ashes in And Just Like That. So I thought there's a really nice like sentiment behind all of this, and the fact that it was originally the Lock and Key Bridge. So I thought I'd head there, and I did. There was a little trail of keys coming under one of the glass thingies, so I added the lock to there. I threw the key in the Sienne. There was influencers nearby. I asked them if they could just film it for me. So you'll see that on TikTok. And then I'd like said thank you so much and everything. And then I just sort of like recorded the lock and done a bit of the scenery, took 2 steps and absolutely burst out crying. So like a wimp, rang my mum, which I never do anything like that, but I did. Because I'd just been texting her, so I kind of knew she'd definitely be available for the phone call kind of thing. And she actually made like a really good point of saying she thinks it was always going to be a heartbreaking thing. Like, I was always going to cry at doing that point, no matter what, because I was physically representing letting go of what me and my ex had and what we could have had and everything that, comes with an almost 7-year relationship. So it was always going to be a really, really heartbreaking moment. But she'd said, I think why I was finding it so emotional after being like so okay, and it was such a good point, and I hadn't quite let it sink in, it's because I was finally getting to a point where I'm realizing like I can be on my own and I can do what I want when I'm on my own, and I can be like confident within that. And like, it's so true. And Paris definitely has that hold over me. It makes me so incredibly confident. It's ridiculous. But I literally could just go anywhere I wanted to go. If I wanted to stop and rest my feet and grab a hot chocolate, I could do it. If like that had some hours to spare, I was the one in charge completely. I didn't have to think about anyone else. I could only do what I wanted to do that was going to bring me joy, happiness, everything, even just for the fact of simply booking the overnight stay in Paris. And because I am literally just at my happiest there, it does just make you realise I actually can be happy on my own. So I was getting a lot of these emotions like coming through. Plus, it literally was like a movie, because this young guy was at the end of the bridge playing like sad romantic songs on this like saxophone-y thing. And that really was like being in a movie. And I voice noted my friend Tracy to be like, oh, I've just done this and I've just been crying, and I hope I don't cry now that I'm telling you, because and I've listened to the voice note back, and all you can hear is his music in the background, and it just is so like poetic and heartbreaking and yet romantic and beautiful. And that's what I mean. It was like a movie scene. It was literally like a movie scene. But no, it felt so good. And then I just felt like I desperately needed a Cosmopolitan, because Carrie Bradshaw. So then I kind of just walked through the Louvre Gardens and different things, and then got on the metro, headed towards Montmartre. I'd thought about going up near the Sacre-Cœur, but then I couldn't ever really remember seeing many places to like sit and fully chill. I remember like little bakeries and all the gift shops and stuff, but nothing was springing to mind. So I thought, you know what? I've got like 2.5 hours. I just need to chill. I don't need to walk around and get another 20,000 steps in. So I went to a little Irish bar literally right next door to the Moulin Rouge, had some Cosmopolitans, cheesy nachos, was chatting away with like a middle-aged Irish couple who were like prepped and ready to introduce me to their 31-year-old son. It was wild, but it was just so nice to just chill and not do anything. I barely even looked at my phone. I genuinely was just sort of sat taking in the scenery, people watching, because I obviously sat next to the window. And it was just amazing. And then there was an hour and a half delay on the train back to the airport, so I had to run and run, running, carrying like Precious Bakery in a bag, my handbag, my gym bag, that then all of a sudden just felt like it weighed 10 kg. It was insane. I had my knee-high boots on, the laces came undone, the boot fell down, I tripped up on the escalator, kept like going to fall about 5 times. It was a whole thing. Got to security, got told no, I could leave the boots on, but then because I walked through with boots, it beeped, so I had to take the boots off to get them tested. I just was like, this is a nightmare, I'm going to miss my plane. So I told them to bin the boots. That if that doesn't show you how stressed and flabbergasted I was, I don't know what else will explain that for you. I told them to bin the boots. They thought I was absolutely psychotic until they saw me whip out my flat little dolly shoes out my bag, and they were like, oh. So then I was like duck waddling, because my feet had been in heels 9 hours on the Monday, 10 hours on the Tuesday. So it was like flat shoes that on. And I made it to the gate with 8 minutes to spare. I don't know how, because I got to the gate carrying my blazer, my coat, all of my bags, my Emmy dress, everything just was like here in my arms. The strap of my top was off my shoulder. Like, I was a mess. And yet still my makeup did not budge. Unreal. I need to be able to sponsor e.l.f. like purely for that setting spray. I don't care about any other product. Just let me promote that setting spray because, oh my God, unreal. But yeah, overall, an incredible trip. Incredible. I go back now in 66 days with my best friend Tracy. I've bought her flights. We're just doing a day trip, so first flight out, last flight back. And I've done that for her birthday present. So excited to get the bestie vibes, pictures and videos of exploring Paris. Plus the Notre Dame is going to be open because it opens on the 8th of December. We go 21st of January. So I'm finally going to go back to the Notre Dame. I haven't been there since I was 18. I'm now 31. Because obviously all of the reconstruction work and everything after the huge fire, which was 2019, I think, if I remember right. That's no cold. So yes, I'm just so excited to go back to the Notre Dame and see there. But I'm just gonna see like what my friend wants to do for the day because it's her birthday trip. And yeah, I just have so many exciting things planned now for Emmy. I just feel so creative, so incredibly motivated, so incredibly grateful to have had that overnight trip this week to Paris because it has just changed my perspective on so many things in so many ways. I'm getting really bummed up. And yeah, it just has me really, really excited to work on Emmy. So I think for now I'm going to work on a slight critical path just so I have an idea of how long and just monetary wise, how long it's going to take to get the next few samples together to pay for the grading of the sizes and to then get like a second sample made in another size, just so then I can show different size bodies and different things and just find like friends, models, etc. to help me on photo shoots. I'm about to book flights for my friend who is a photographer to join me on my April overnight stay in Paris because I'm hoping at that point I'll have 3 sample dresses, which will technically be 6 because they're obviously reversible. So I said I think we'll be able to get so many pictures taken with that. So he is so up for it. He actually messaged me replying to one of the professional pictures I put up on my Instagram story that the guys took with me in front of the Eiffel Tower. Don't know what that was. And he was like, oh my God, I'd absolutely love to come to Paris with you and shoot whatever you even wanted. Like, these pictures are so nice. Like, we could do so many amazing things. I was like, oh, Simon, don't you worry. You are already on my plan. You're on the radar for it. So then, because then I got so excited after the meeting the manufacturer and obviously looking at those pictures myself, I just thought, you know what, I actually will get some amazing things with him. So yeah, I'm literally about to book his flights for the April trip. So that's really, really exciting. Even if we only have the 2 sample dresses at that point, that's still 4 dresses we get to shoot. And obviously I plan on going sort of every month or every 2 months. So I'll just keep planning him every couple of months to come and like shoot it. It's just so exciting. So exciting. So yeah, I'm just going to work on my critical path. It's just me and Dory at home. Charlie has gone to my sister's for a little visit. Mum and Dad have gone to the Christmas markets, but they've already been gone for like a good few hours. So I've had to wait for them to come home so I can go to the gym to do some upper body today. And I've not wanted to leave my sweet, darling baby angel. Yes, you. I've not wanted to leave her home alone by herself because I just think it's going to cause her far too much anxiety, even though she is going to need to get used to it. But we'll figure it out, won't we? Yeah, we just don't need to figure it out today, do we? No, we don't. I also had the best welcome home from her. It was just the sweetest thing. Do you know what? I'll insert that clip next, and that can be my little au revoir to this vlog, rather than just my boring face saying goodbye. I'll insert the clip of my little welcome home with Dory. But just as an FYI, that continued on for another 5 minutes after I stopped recording, and then a further 10 minutes, 10 15 minutes when we came into the room. It just continued on. She was just everywhere, and then she was stuck to me for like 2 days straight, would not leave my side, literally glued to me in the bed. But yeah, it was so cute. But yes, amazing vlog. Amazing vlog? That's a lie. This isn't an amazing vlog. Amazing time in Paris. Apologies I didn't do a whole Paris vlog. But like I say, just follow me on social media at fa_Shanice_ta, fashionista. Follow me on there and you'll see all the pictures and videos. But yeah, until next time. Come here. Oh, like a dot. Baby boo. You've been cooking. You've been cooking.